The human mind is a labyrinth of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors susceptible to manipulation and exploitation. Dark psychology delves into the shadows of human cognition, uncovering techniques that can easily infiltrate someone's consciousness. While understanding these tactics can offer insight into human behavior, their application without ethics can lead to dire consequences. In this comprehensive exploration, we will dissect 10 dark psychology tricks designed to effortlessly penetrate someone's mind, emphasizing the importance of ethical boundaries and responsible use. 1. Gaslighting. Gaslighting, a sinister form of psychological manipulation, aims to make the victim doubt their own perceptions, memories, and sanity. Perpetrators employ subtle tactics, such as denial, misdirection, and contradiction to distort the victim's reality. By systematically invalidating the victim's experiences, gaslighters gain control over their thoughts and emotions, fostering dependency and self-doubt. Victims may find themselves trapped in a web of confusion, questioning their own judgment, and yielding to the gaslighter's influence. 2. Negging. Negging is a manipulative technique rooted in the art of subtle insult disguised as flattery. Perpetrators strategically undermine their target's self-esteem by delivering backhanded compliments or subtle criticisms. By eroding the target's confidence and self-worth, neggers create a power imbalance that they can exploit for personal gain. Victims may internalize the criticism, seeking validation and approval from their manipulator, thus falling deeper into the trap of manipulation. 3. Foot in the door. The foot in the door technique capitalizes on the human tendency to maintain consistency in their behavior and commitments. Perpetrators start by making a small, innocuous request, gradually escalating to larger demands once compliance is secured. By leveraging the principle of reciprocity, manipulators increase the likelihood of the target agreeing to subsequent requests. Victims may find themselves unwittingly drawn into a cycle of compliance, unaware of the manipulative tactics at play. 4. Mirroring. Mirroring is a subtle yet potent technique employed to establish rapport and build trust with the target. Perpetrators mimic the target's body language, speech patterns, and gestures, creating an illusion of similarity and connection. By mirroring the target, manipulators exploit the human desire for validation and acceptance, subtly influencing their thoughts and emotions. Victims may feel an inexplicable bond with their manipulator, unaware of the calculated nature of the interaction. 5. Love bombing. Love bombing is a deceptive tactic used to overwhelm the target with excessive affection, attention, and praise in the early stages of a relationship. Perpetrators shower their victims with grand gestures, declarations of love, and promises of a blissful future. By creating an illusion of intimacy and adoration, love bombers manipulate their targets into a state of emotional dependency. Victims may become ensnared in a toxic relationship, unable to discern genuine affection from manipulation. 6. Fear-mongering. Fear-mongering exploits the primal instinct of self-preservation by instilling fear and anxiety in the target. Perpetrators exaggerate threats, fabricate dangers, and manipulate information to manipulate the target's perceptions and behavior. By exploiting the target's vulnerabilities and insecurities, fearmongers exert control over their thoughts and actions, driving them towards compliance. Victims may succumb to paranoia and irrational fears, relinquishing their autonomy to the manipulator's agenda. 7. Isolation. Isolation is a coercive tactic used to cut off the target from external influences, support systems, and sources of validation. Perpetrators may employ physical or emotional isolation to increase the target's dependence on them and undermine their sense of agency. By depriving the target of alternative perspectives and resources, manipulators maintain control over their thoughts and beliefs. Victims may feel trapped and powerless, isolated from the outside world, and beholden to their manipulator's whims. 8. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping exploits the target's sense of empathy and compassion by manipulating them into feeling responsible for the manipulator's emotions or circumstances. Perpetrators employ guilt-inducing tactics such as emotional manipulation, passive-aggressive behavior, and exaggerated displays of distress. By leveraging the target's guilt and obligation, manipulators coerce them into compliance and submission. Victims may sacrifice their own needs and well-being in a futile attempt to appease their manipulator. 9. Intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement is a powerful psychological technique that exploits the target's desire for reward and aversion to punishment. Perpetrators administer rewards or punishments unpredictably and inconsistently in response to the target's behavior. By creating uncertainty and unpredictability, manipulators increase the target's motivation to seek approval and avoid punishment. Victims may become trapped in a cycle of manipulation, desperately seeking validation and approval from their unpredictable manipulator. 10. Dehumanization. Dehumanization strips the target of their humanity, reducing them to mere objects or obstacles to be manipulated and exploited. Perpetrators employ dehumanizing language, stereotypes, and attitudes to justify their mistreatment of the target. By depriving the target of empathy and recognition, manipulators absolve themselves of guilt and remorse, perpetuating their abusive behavior. Victims may internalize the dehumanizing messages, internalizing feelings of worthlessness and powerlessness. Dark psychology tactics offer a glimpse into the darker aspects of human nature, revealing the depths of manipulation and exploitation that individuals are capable of. However, with knowledge comes responsibility, and it is imperative to recognize the ethical boundaries of psychological manipulation. By understanding these techniques and their potential consequences, we can guard ourselves against manipulation and empower others to do the same. Let us strive to cultivate empathy, integrity, and respect in our interactions, fostering relationships built on trust and mutual consent.